I going to say about an actor from America who's 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighs 21 stone, and has 24-inch biceps? He's a former 3-time heavyweight wrestling champion of the world, and whatever I say, it's going to be something complimentary. You can bet your life on that. Before we meet him, will you take a look at him in action? Just take a look here.
In the ring, going after Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, they'll step to the outside. And right now, you're looking at unquestionably one of the all-time, perhaps the all-time World Wrestling Federation great, the champion Hulk Hogan.
He's hulking up, Jess. I don't know if he's got enough left in him. That adrenaline can do wonders. We're seeing what this guy is really made of. What he is. The greatest professional athlete in the world today. Look at this. He's slamming it forward. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh, dropping a big leg. Over for the cover. He got it. Unbelievable.
Well, we've had some big stars on this show over the years, none bigger than this fella. Would you please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the idol of millions of Hulkamaniacs around the world, the incredible Hulk himself, Hulk Hogan. Pleased to see you, but I mean, looking at you, really are a big lad.
Well, not as big as that guy I just body slammed.
He was big, was he?
Yeah, in America, I'm 6'7", the same as here, but that's how we measure ourselves there. 6'7", and Andre the Giant is 7'4".
7'4"?
Yeah, he's a real giant, and he weighs almost 600 pounds.
A biggie.
So that was WrestleMania 3. That was a few years ago, and that was in the Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit, Michigan. A week before, they had the Rolling Stones there, and they had 80,000 people, and then I wrestled Andre in the same building, and we had 93,000 people.
93,000?
And it's still the world's indoor attendance record.
I can imagine that being beaten.
Indoor attendance record.
I can imagine that being beaten by one other thought. Maybe you fighting Mike Tyson. Could that ever be a possibility, Hulk?
Well,
what would you do if someone offered that to you?
I've been trying to get that juvenile delinquent in the ring with me for quite some time. But you see, I don't know how many people here saw Rocky III, one of Sylvester.
Well, you're in that, weren't you?
Yes. And one of the reasons I was in the movie was Mr. Stallone wanted to show the world what would happen if a boxer would get in the ring with a wrestler. And so I would love to get my hands on Mike Tyson.
What would you do? Would you just lean on him? He couldn't do much of it. I mean, you're much heavier.
Well, he's done a lot of crazy things lately. The first thing I'd do is discipline him. I'd like to get him over my knee first.
Give him a smack.
Yeah. But, but we've approached him on several occasions, and even flew over to Tokyo to try to get him to sign a contract to referee a match. But after we got him to sign the contract, a week later, Buster Douglas beat him for the championship. So we had Buster Douglas as the special referee.
Well, let me talk about you for a second, because you are an enormous guy. And were you a big baby?
Well, yes, I was. I was 11 pounds when I was born.
11 pounds. I bet the doctor didn't smack your bum when you... Well, let me ask you about an average day's eating. You know, what would you eat in one day? What would be breakfast, lunch, maybe dinner?
I'm trying to stay away from the fatty foods because the camera loves detail, and I'm trying to work on my film career now. And today I had 18 egg whites. 18? Yeah, with a few onions and mushrooms chopped in, and whole wheat toast, and I bring cans of protein with me everywhere. And I try not to eat too late at night because it's kind of hard to burn that food off, but I do eat quite a bit.
Steak, stuff like that?
Sometimes, but the red meat will slow you down. When you get a little older, you'll find out.
Oh, I'm waiting.
Yes.
Eventually.
Yeah. If you know the fish and the meat and the chicken, those are all good sources of protein, but basically the meat is something that slows your metabolism down, so I try to stay away from that.
I was watching WrestleMania in America recently. I mean, the wrestling here, it went off the boil for a while. It's coming back now. I think spinning off of Sky Television, satellite, running the WrestleMania. I was amazed at the fervor from the fans who are yelling, little prim old ladies yelling out things like, tear his leg off! And it
really getting involved up there. Does any of that anger ever spill over into the ring? I mean, it's obviously going to be very dangerous if you guys get cross with it, really cross with each other.
Well, once in a while things happen in there where the gentlemen in the ring get upset with each other. But what we've done, the reason wrestling is so big is that we've taken wrestling to another level, and we call it sports entertainment now. And once I got into a position with a little bit of power, I was very serious with the promoters when I said I wanted to take it to another level because I started the entertainment. I started playing music on the way to the ring, and then when I'd body slam you, I'd look to the crowd for approval, and usually the approval got more of a roar than the wrestling move. And so...
You became the goodie. You brought into wrestling the goodie and the baddie, didn't you? It wasn't just two guys...
Well, no, that was always there, but before we had the type of wrestling fan that wanted to see blood and wanted to see people get hurt. And so what I wanted to do was I was tired of insulting people's intelligence. And I told them that wrestling is more than just a sport. These are good athletes, but they're also good entertainers and good actors. That's why we call it sports entertainment now. So the people that wanted to see the wrestlers get hurt and wanted to see blood, they're gone now, and now we have families, we have children.
Yeah, the kids are there.
The arenas are sold out, and they know that when they buy a ticket, they're not going to see Mike Tyson knock somebody out in 2 seconds and rob them of their money. They buy a ticket to see wrestling, sports entertainment, and they get 3 hours of entertainment and fun.
Well, from entertainment, and dare I say, some kind of acting, and must require
of course.
You know, you've made the natural progression into acting, and it's now Hulk, the actor. And you have this marvelous new movie out, which I thought is wonderful. I thoroughly recommend this. Genuinely great family entertainment, a movie called Suburban Commando.
Yes,
We've got a little clip here. Perhaps you'd like to lead us in before we run it. What do you actually play?
Well, I'm an intergalactic space warrior, and I'm a good guy. I'm out in the galaxies, and I'm saving worlds, and I'm saving planets. And all of a sudden, they have some bounty hunters that come after me, and I flee to Earth to try to find a place to hide. And I run into a man named Christopher Lloyd, who played Doc in Back to the Future, all of those movies, and his wife, Shelley Duvall. I rent an apartment from them.
Good lineup, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it sure is. I rent an apartment from them, and all of a sudden, the bounty hunters land in the backyard, and I have to tell Christopher Lloyd I'm an alien, and we fight off the bad guys.
Well, let's take a little look at you doing your stuff for the people around you and the friends you make.
What?
My cat. My cat. That's not my cat.
Oh.
Well, you know, you have to be choosy this time of year. That's if you want a ripe melon.
Ripe ones are the best ones?
Well, of course they are. There is nothing more tasty than a ripe melon.
How do you know which ones are the ripe ones?
Well, you have to squeeze it a bit. And the softer, the better, I always say.
I found a good one.
My next guest is waiting to meet you. My next guest is waiting. She has a very young son. I think he's three, coming up 4. And he's got strict instructions for you to autograph his Hulk doll. We're delighted to welcome this lady to our studio. She's made over 30 movies, and I'm told she's going to come and live back in Great Britain. That's good news. Will you please welcome the stunning Brit Eckland. Lovely to see you again.
It's wonderful
You brought
to see you.
let me look at him. Can we have a look at him on camera? Well, let's have a little look at this fella.
God, I can't believe this. You don't know what this means.
Well, can we just have a look at it?
Wait, that's not me.
Is that not? Yes,